Hello friend, how are you doing today? My name is Mary, this is happilyeveresch, and today we are doing a Friday read. I hope that you guys are doing well, having a great start to August. It has been gorgeous weather in Missouri, like so beautiful. It feels like fall. It's supposed to kind of start to warm up again, but we have been relishing in the cool. We got to open our windows for a couple days, which is just kind of unbelievable for Missouri in the beginning of August. So taking and soaking in the gorgeous, beautiful weather, taking it as a blessing, but I hope that you're enjoying some nice weather. All right, so what are we here for? Friday reads. I didn't post a TBR this month because I felt it would be kind of pointless because there's a few books that I have to read, but mostly I'm feeling very indecisive this month. So I thought I'd just post some Friday reads, kind of, we can chat about what I'm reading. Honestly, I'm a little boring and I'm still in the middle, well, the end of Americana. I am making progress. I'm going to finish this book this weekend. I feel extremely determined to do that. I have less than 200 pages, like 150 pages left of this. I really hope to finish it tonight. I feel every time I pick it up so enveloped in the characters and their lives, but it's just not like a book that I want to like gobble up, eat up, if that makes sense. And it's just very character driven, and yeah, while I'm, like I said, I'm so enjoying it, it's just not one that I'm like compelled to like read 100 pages every night, if that makes sense. But I feel very determined to finish this book. Even in like this like dipping in and out nature that I've been having with this story, I still feel very connected. It's like you pick it up and you're just like right back enveloped in the characters' lives. So I am enjoying this. That was so rambly, but I'm just not finished with it yet. But I will be this weekend. I'm going to do it. Next is the audiobook I'm listening to. It's a nonfiction. It was featured in my 5 nonfiction books I want to read in 2020 or before 2020 is over video. It'll be linked down below, and that's The Women's Hour, The Great Fight to Win the Vote by Elaine Weiss, and I am thoroughly enjoying this. This book is reading so compellingly. I just am being pulled through these 6 weeks surrounding the time before Tennessee ratifies the 19th Amendment, which gives women the right to vote. We're coming up on the 100-year anniversary in August of the official Constitution Amendment being ratified in the United States, and so I wanted to read this book in celebration of that. I'm loving getting to know all the different players and all of the different kind of political maneuvering and aspects of this book. I really appreciate that Elaine Weiss doesn't just like purely paint this movement as without its flaws, because there's a lot of issues of racism in this book, and the movements being willing to use racist rhetoric to pass and get what they want essentially in more southern states, and kind of a lot of them compromising their beliefs because they believed that it was wrong and shouldn't have happened, but they did it to kind of get what they want. And so yeah, I'm glad that she's not shying away from that and really digging into the greater issues of the times, and yeah, especially dealing with the South in the 1920s, where, I mean, today we're still feeling the effects of slavery and the Civil War, obviously, but it was felt in a much different way in the 20s. And so yeah, I'm just glad that she's exploring that. I'm glad that she's really looking into these different players as the humans they were, and the mistakes that they made along the way, but still they made important progress in ratifying the amendment to the Constitution. Man, I am a rambly mess today, but I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I hope to finish it this weekend. I've got some more driving to do today on Friday for work, and yeah, we're going to be also going to visit my in-laws over the weekend, so some more driving there that I hope to get some of this book done. But I will be vlogging this weekend, so you'll be able to follow the saga if I actually get these 2 books finished, which I very much hope to do. And I also have another weekend hopeful. So if I finish physically reading Americana, I plan to pick up a middle grade, and that's Esperanza Rising by Pam Muniz Ryan. I am very excited to read this book. This book was published in 2000, and it was very popular when I would have been in elementary school going into middle grade, but I never actually read it as a child. And so I am very excited to finally pick this book up. This deals with our young main character, Esperanza, who lives in Mexico, and she's part of a very wealthy family. There's a series of events that cause her family to have to immigrate to the United States, and she loses her home, their livelihood, and kind of becomes impoverished as they immigrate to the United States. And the back kind of says it's a riches to rags story and her overcoming her circumstances, but I also just hope for some really good social commentary on immigration. This did win the Pura Bel Prix Award, which it highlights writers and writings about Hispanic culture, so I'm very excited about this one. All right, and then for what I kind of hope to read the rest of the week, I have Miracle Creek here by Angie Kim. I have to read this as my book club pick. Book club, there was like less time in between, and this was my pick, so I absolutely have to read it. I do think I'm going to pick it up on audiobook. My Hoopla has it. This is a thriller mystery, but I think like courtroom drama maybe, and we have this submarine that all of these different people get treatments in this submarine, and it blows up, and I think the parents of a child on that submarine are being charged with blowing the submarine up and the like harm and murder of people. I'm very interested to hear this one. Lots of people rave about it. I believe April at Getting Hugga With It, this is one of her favorite books she's read this year. I trust her opinion very much, but I've heard nothing but good things about this, so I'm very excited to get to it. And the cover is just stunning. It wraps around, there's like fire on the back. Look how pretty. So I'm excited. I'm excited to have the physical copy of this as well, because I flipped through and I've already seen like different charts and things, because it is a courtroom drama, so things that they would be like using in the court to make their case, it seems to be a part of the text, which I think is really cool, so I'm glad to physically have it. But I just think that at least starting this on audio will really get me into it, so even if I physically finish reading it, that would be fine. But I do have the audiobook waiting for me when I'm done with the Women's Hour. A couple other audiobooks if I decide that I totally want to read this physically. I have Woke Church. This is by Pastor Eric Mason. This is also one that I have from Hoopla, and let me get the little subtitle for you. So this is Woke Church, an urgent call for Christians in America to confront racism and injustice. My husband's read this book on audio, I believe, more than once, and he really enjoyed it, highly recommended it. Very much speaks to the time that we're in, but it's just an interest of mine in general to read about the church and how the church can be an active participant in healing the scars of racism within the church, because that absolutely needs to happen, but also within the greater community. I'm always looking for more resources, especially those coming from a Christian lens, because that's my worldview. And yeah, I'm just want to sit at his feet, listen to his book. It's less than 6 hours on audio. I can read that in a day or two. And I think my husband and I would both like to own the physical copy so we can take notes, so it might be one that we buy as well. But this is also kind of on my radar of audiobooks to read along with Sea People by Christina Thompson. This is The Puzzle of Polynesia, I believe, is the kind of little subtitle for this one. It's also featured in my nonfiction top 5 books I want to read before 2020 comes to an end. And this is kind of, again, like a detective look at how the people of Polynesia got there and their voyage, and I'm very excited about that one as well. So those are kind of things on my radar. I could maybe think books on my nightstand. I don't know, we might kind of have to think of a cute little name for this, because who knows what I will actually read. I know I will actually finish Americana and the Woman's Hour, and hopefully Angie Kim's Miracle Creek, because those are books that I need to finish. But the other ones, who knows when we'll get to them. What are you guys planning to read this weekend? I'd love to chat about it down in the comments below. I'd also love to know, are you like a huge mood reader and wherever the wind takes you, you go? That's kind of how I feel. I just like float from what I want to read to what I want to read, and I'm feeling very indecisive this month. So you probably could tell from the energy in this video. All right, friends, have a great weekend. I hope you're enjoying some nice weather. I hope you're doing some fun things. I hope that you're staying safe and healthy and wearing a mask, all the important things. All right, friends, talk to you later. Bye.